we're seeing Brock Purdy right now, and it's a clear upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo, at least so far, in the sense that he will throw the ball down the field. He threw 2 deep touchdown passes outside the numbers, which is in one game, something that Jimmy Garoppolo has never, ever done. It's like what he's done all year. So he's more aggressive down the field. He's more mobile. He's better in the red zone. But those first 2 things are apparent. And it makes you wonder, like, how is he not playing earlier? So this is my question. It's like Brock Purdy was here all offseason, and the Niners were impressed. First of all, they drafted him. Kudos. They saw him all offseason. He looked like he was destined for the practice squad. They gave him a spot over Nate Sudfeld, who was getting guaranteed money. Kudos. You saw it. You liked it. You identified it. And then at the last minute, you put him behind Jimmy Garoppolo, who you don't like. You wanted to trade. You wanted to get rid of. You know he's limited. Why did they not stick to their guns on Brock Purdy? How do they have to back into this?
Well, I guess I will answer that question with a question. When has Kyle Shanahan ever played the best player? Right? That's
he
not
always
what he
backs
does.
into his best decisions.
Yeah.
His best running backs, he stumbles in. Now, he sees that they're good. He gives them a spot in the team and buries them.
Yeah. It's politics. It's I don't want to play rookies. I don't trust rookies. You've seen that from Kyle Shanahan. You see it with Jordan Mason this year. It's a perfect example. There's no question that Jordan Mason is
Talanoa Hufanga last year. Should have been playing.
Yeah, so he doesn't trust rookies. Yeah. And also there could be some roster dynamics here as well. Maybe, it would be Kyle Shanahan is afraid, I would say, to play Brock Purdy when and explain that to George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk. Here I'm starting Brock Purdy over Jimmy Garoppolo, guys. I don't think he wants to have that conversation or deal with that dynamics politically within the locker room. Yeah,
that's true. But to me, it's like unusual. You said he doesn't trust the rookies. I look at it as he doesn't trust himself. I mean, look at how he's calling plays for Brock Purdy. He's calling double moves for Ayuk up the sideline. Mm-hmm. He would never call that. He would never call that for Jimmy Garoppolo. But he's calling it for Brock Purdy, which means he knows deep down Brock's better.
Mm-hmm.
You know it. You had it. And at the last minute, you didn't trust your own judgment. You second-guessed yourself, and it feels like he does this a lot. If he just trust you might be a hell of a quarterback evaluator because someone pushed for drafting Brock Purdy. Someone realized that he deserved a spot over Nate Sudfeld. Maybe it was you. But then at the very end, you're like, you know what? I think Jimmy gives us a better chance to win. Like, you won't even know. You'll never know unless you see Brock Purdy in a real game. And now that we've seen Brock Purdy, it's like, you know what? This team might be the number 1 seed if he had just been starting since week 3. So I think what's interesting about Kyle is he does seem to be perceptive. He does get credit for Brock Purdy, but at the same time, he needs to trust himself and the rookies. Come on, man. This guy should have been out there earlier. You saw it. It's clear as day. As soon as you put him in an actual game on an actual football field, it's clear as day. Kyle, you saw this. You should have just trusted yourself.
I saw good things for Brock Purdy in the preseason training camp. I was impressed with him. And then they put him in the Chiefs game, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the guy I thought he was.
Yeah.
But now he's back to being who he looked. He looked great in the training camp. He looked great in the preseason. I was, thought he could be a good backup quarterback. So I think a lot of it is just, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, he's your former starter for 5 years. The team loves him. The guys love him. The vets love him. It would have been really hard for him to get past that and just say, no, Brock, you're the guy. Jimmy, you're backing him up. We're going to go with the last pick in the NFL draft over the guy we paid $130 million to. So it's just a lot of political stuff. He really it's not the best guy plays all the time for the 49ers.
Remember back in 2019 when Ahkello Witherspoon was clearly worse than Emmanuel Mosley, but kept getting 3rd, 4th, and 5th chances, and they backed into him. I mean, they find these gems, and Kyle's reluctant to go to him. But so far this year, what's interesting is the best rookies on the team, the most impactful rookies on the team this year is the last pick, the quarterback, and the undrafted free agent rookie. Those two. And then you wondered, what about Jason Poe? What about that guy who was really good in the preseason, who's just chilling on the practice squad. I think he's probably pretty good too. But we'll never know because Kyle Shanahan, he's smart though. I mean, Jason Pope made it. He's still here. He's going to get his chance eventually, but felt like, I don't know if it's whether it's being overly conservative or whatever it is. It's frustrating. You watch this guy do this and you're like, Kyle, you're a genius, man. How did you not? You didn't see this in practice? You didn't see this? You really didn't see this? You didn't know you had this? You did know you had this and you were playing Jimmy either. Like, what happened, man? Like, I didn't see it, but look at me. I wear a jacket with my name on it in my own house. Like, Kyle, you should have seen this.
The tough thing about it too is these young guys, they're cheaper. So if you could find some talent that you could play that are serviceable, that could give you good minutes for cheaper, that's a good thing,
And remember, the plan was for Purdy to be the number 2 quarterback this year. It was for Lance to be 1 and Purdy to be 2. Jimmy was not invited to the offseason program. And at the last minute, Kyle lost his nerve. He was really talking, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then he didn't do it.
As he called. Yeah.
He should have.
As he predicted.
Yeah. He lost his nerve. It's like he was going to break up with his girlfriend, but he didn't. But now it's like finally it seems like he's got the nerve. You know what? Did you ever see Swingers?
Swingers. No.
Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn. Favreau gets dumped. And like he's constantly calling his ex-girlfriend, That's freaking Kyle with Jimmy. And now finally he got a number. Hey, he's got something. And he doesn't necessarily have to keep calling Jimmy anymore because he's got Brock. Anyway, he's Jon Favreau in Swingers.
Yeah.